he
When
came
we
up?
first met was hilarious because it was not New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve. I was working
Mm-hmm.
and I was at my desk working. And these two guys come barreling up the hallway, drunk as you could ever believe, weaving and back and forth and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, ew, I didn't like him at all. I thought, I can't believe these people would be. The, the other friend that he was with was an orderly.
Okay.
And he had to do a catheterization on a guy. Because in those days, women didn't catheterize men. It has changed. But at that time, they had to call in an orderly to catheterize a man. And he brought Herb in with him. And Herb sat at the desk with me while Bob went and did the catheterization. It was all different in those days. So we women got away with murder. To tell you the truth. Yeah, but that's how that came. That's how we met.
So what happened while you were sitting there with him?
While we were sitting there, he asked me for a date, and I thought.
And he's drunk at this point.
And he's drunk at this point, and I said to myself, "No way, Jose, am I going to go out with you?" And here, a couple of days later, his mother was a patient on my floor, and she was in a private room.
Mm-hmm.
So I would stop in and talk to her to say goodnight or give her medicines or something, and he was always there. And I thought to myself, that's strange. It's kind of late for visitors. And his mother would say, well, he can stay a little bit longer, Candy. Here they were playing these games, and he was coming in. A couple of nights he was pretty drunk, and I said, "Oh, I would never date anybody like that." In those days, you said hell when you were a sinner, and of course that changed in a hurry. Yeah, that's how we met.
So how did he finally get you to go out with him, though? Because you said, I'm not going out with that.
He tried many times. He'd come over to the desk and he'd sit with me while I was working.
Over the course of multiple days and possibly weeks.
Over the course of many weeks before I would even think about it. He said, how would you like to go just to go to a movie and dinner? I said, well, I could do that. I thought about it. So I went out with him one night, and it was a very, very pleasant experience. We had dinner, we went to a movie, there was no hanky-panky, no nothing, and he was very sweet and very nice. And after that, I told him how I felt about people who drank, and he never came again drunk.
Wow.
Or even smelled of beer or anything. So I thought, well, I'll take a chance on this one.
Well, I think somebody had the hots for you.
And little by little, it turned out that I think it was we met on a New Year's Eve, and in April, my birthday, he gave me my ring.
Wow.
So
that same year.
That same year, yeah. I met in. Yes, it was the same year. So that's how fast that came about.
Wow.
And I think it was in September of that year when he gave me my ring and asked me to marry him. And I, like a fool, said yes. By that time,
like a fool.
He hadn't been drunk forever, and he was just the nicest guy, and his mother was a patient on my floor. And so when he would come in to visit her, he'd just stay over visiting hours just so he could spend some
I was
time
about to say.
with me at the desk. He was
Mhm.
allowed at the desk. He wasn't allowed anywhere near the patients or
Oh.
anything, but he was allowed to sit at the desk with me, and we got to know each other a little bit better. And one night he asked me if I'd go to a movie with him, and I said, yeah, I'd consider that. So we went to a movie, and the rest is history.